There too. Mike Thorne, North Pole TV. Well, new episode. Kevin Johnston's going to go talk to the education people about the. Well, Muslims they want to practice their preaching, which would be fine if everybody else was allowed to practice preaching, right?
Yes, but you know what? Just so you know, if you're going to film this, it's no problem.
Yeah, I'm just a small.
Three teachers in the last 2 days have called me from that school board to tell me that the mandate that Tony Pontes and these idiots at the board here have brought down. And now we're just talking trustees that get $18,000 a year. The mandate is to kill as much Christianity as possible within the entire school system, to replace it with what they call everything else, but they really mean Islam. They don't care about Hinduism. In fact, they care so little about Hindus that these people in here and Linda Jeffrey, the Brampton mayor, called all the Hindus that are protesting this racists and hate mongers. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
A world that makes no sense anymore. It's like everything's upside down. It's like
it makes no sense because Canadians are not doing anything about it. If everyone just stood up and said enough of this crap,
but
we're not going to take this anymore.
What I don't get, Kevin, is why leftists and liberals are all for saying no Christianity in the schools, no Hinduism in the schools, no Judaism in the schools, but yes, you can practice Islam in the schools.
Fear is number one.
Fear?
But also, Justin Trudeau's had the opportunity to sign up with our real allies, the USA, the UK, the Commonwealth, but he's chosen Saudi Arabia. And they're funding all of this nonsense. And the Saudis are as bad as they get. They have beheadings in the street. They have professional beheaders. My understanding is they've just hired 13 new ones. And on top of all of that, they've got professional stoppers. I'm not sure what the Arabic term is for it. But once the head comes off in public, the guy stands out like this so he doesn't get his white dress wet and just takes the head off. The body usually falls and bleeds everywhere. This professional guy comes running in with white gloves on and puts his hand over the arteries to stop the blood from shooting everywhere. And that way they can wrap the body up and get it out of the square quickly enough to get another beheading in. That's your professional beheaded body blood stopper guy. That's the country that our Prime Minister has decided to sign up with and sign allegiance to. That's why we are fighting all these fights. But Canadians, unfortunately, especially white people, talking to you, white Canada, you'd rather sit at home because it's cold and eat your pizza and barbecue your chicken in your garage and complain about the fact that your neighbor's wife's ass is better than your wife's ass. I don't know what you people are complaining about, but you're certainly not here complaining about that.
There's more important things to be worried about.
This is very important. So important. In fact, if you want to turn the camera around, so important.
Actually, I want to get on the other side of here because of the light.
Yeah. So if you look over there across the road, we've got security guards.
See that? There's some cops across the road waiting for Kevin.
Yeah. Well, those aren't cops.
Oh, I saw a couple of
uniforms in there. The police are not here to stop me. The police are here to keep everything copacetic.
Right.
Those security guards are here to stop me. But they're just guys in costumes. They have no authority. So and because I'm serving legal documents in that building tonight, if they try to stop me, it's obstruction of justice. I will call 911 immediately. Thanks to the fact that Islam is indoctrinating our children now. So with me, I've been very strong and very vocal in my opinions of the entire Peel School Board. And that is what they're dead set against. Janet McDougall and Tony Pontes have made it very clear they find me offensive and what I'm saying offensive. All I'm doing is telling the truth, and they don't like it.
And Janet McDougall has gone so far as to call you a racist, but they've gone even further than that.
Yes.
In terms of shutting down freedom of expression and free speech, they have actually sent you a lawyer's letter, I understand, saying that you will be charged with trespassing if you cross the street and go to the Peel District School Board.
Yes, they did. They've explained to me, first off, the first letter was to cease and desist speaking about them. And the lawyer's letter that I received was mainly just him quoting what I've said online. No problem. But then Tony Pontes sent me a letter that his secretary had written, stating that I'm not allowed to go on that property, but doesn't cite the reasons why. He's also not citing any particular law, aside from Education Act 207, which backfired on him because Education Act 207 Section 1 says I can be there, everybody can be there. And I told them that, I wrote a letter today telling them I am not going to respond to them in any way aside from to be on that property. They cannot intimidate me. In fact, their use of intimidation tactics on me is violation of Criminal Code of Canada, Section 423. I will charge them criminally if they decide to try to intimidate me any further. I've also warned them if those security guards over there touch me in any way, I will charge them with assault.
Yes, this is interesting. We can already see a ring of security guards and even some police.
Yes.
The school board meeting is about to kick off in about half an hour.
Yes.
Are you indeed going to go to that school board meeting in violation of the board's demands that you stay off their property?
I'm walking right in that front door over there. That's what I'm doing. The answer is yes to that question.
And just to be clear, they're coming down hard on you, Kevin, because you've been vociferous about keeping religion and specifically mosque out of the public education system here in Mississauga?
Well, that is correct. I've been very adamant that I want Islam to stay out of our public schools because we know that it's an expansionistic religion. It's not really a religion, it's more of an ideology, and I would like to avoid having that in our schools and avoid having that being advertised to our children as a good thing. This is Canada. It's built on Christian values. I want Islamic values to remain in the back where it belongs, but not to have any prayers in there and not to have Islamic flyers in our schools telling kids how good it is. If you have to tell somebody how good your religion is, there's something very wrong with it.
And why do you think there is this extra special accommodation solely for Islam when it comes to the Peel District School Board and some other school boards across Canada?
Well, there's two main reasons I'll give you right now. Number one is fear. Everybody is afraid that Muslims will kill you if you don't do what they say. So they're protecting their own butts, for lack of a better term. But we also have a lot of money coming in from Saudi Arabia. We do know that Justin Trudeau has sided with Saudi Arabia as opposed to siding with our allies, being the Commonwealth and the United States. So we have a lot of Saudi Arabian money coming in to help spread this around. And Justin Trudeau, in my honest opinion, is looking for a great job with the UN when his term here is all said and done.
And assuming you get into the school board meeting tonight, Kevin, what is it that you plan to say to the Peel District School Board?
I will actually not be speaking to the Peel District School Board tonight because we know that they're not going to let me do so. So what I've done instead is I've sent emails over to other individuals from, not me, but from concerned citizens to be read out there in the hopes that some of these people will listen to what's being said by us, we the people that pay their salaries. I will, however, be serving legal documents in that building tonight to the entire Peel District School Board staff. All of them.
Pertaining to what?
Pertaining to the fact that Janet McDougald called me a racist in front of 250 people and sent those same 250 people into a frenzy. But she did so with absolutely no merit and nothing to back the claim. I am not a racist, and I'm demanding an apology. I'm giving them 30 days to give it to me.
Okay, well, I guess, folks, in the minutes ahead, we're going to follow Kevin Johnston here to the Mississauga School Board, and I guess we're going to see what happens if a citizen can indeed go into a public school board, or if the school board is going to stick their security guards and keep them at bay. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's do it. Very good. So, we're going to walk across. Hey, boys, how are you? All right, excellent. Canadians, right here.
Come there. I'm Mark. Likewise.
From Hamilton. Correct. See, what I'm doing is I'm serving legal documents here today. Right there. You stop me, it's obstruction of justice. I'm calling 911. Let's go, boys. And I have that letter, by the way, so thank you very much. Hi, guys. Hi there, how are you? Very good, thank you. I called your communications officer tonight. I have legal documents to serve to the entire Peel District School Board this evening. I'd like to go in there and do my job if I could, please.
You can have your legal representation.
I'm sorry?
Take care of that. You can have your legal representation.
Well, I would prefer to make sure this gets done. And I can't be stopped while you're here, so I'm going to get in there and get this done. I just need to serve these guys and leave the building. I'm here for about 5 or 6 minutes. Sit here.
Get off the property.
Sir, I'd like to go in there and serve these papers.
You can't be on the property. We have a trespass letter on file. You have to leave the property. If you fail to leave the property, you will be arrested.
Okay, sir. This here, I understand. What you're doing though is obstructing justice. And I'm well aware of the fact you guys are not allowed to interfere with me serving court papers to the people that need to be served.
You can't do it on the property. You're going to ask you to leave. You're going to ask twice now. First time you'll be arrested.
Sir, I'd like to go in there, please, if I could, and just serve these documents to the people, and then I'll leave the property.
No, the answer is no.
Why would that be?
Because there's a trespass letter on file, you can serve notice you're not supposed to be on the property.
Trespass.
You're on the property now. And you
Right,
have
but
to
it
leave
was
the
not a
property.
court order. It was just a letter that was issued by a secretary. Tony Pont has a secretary.
It's signed by a lawyer's office on behalf of the school board. They represent the board.
Okay, but again, I'd still like to just serve this and leave.
You can have counsel do that.
I don't have counsel here today. I represent myself, and I am my own servant.
Okay, I'm asking you to leave one more time. Are you going to leave?
Sir, I just want to serve this and go. Okay. Here we
Leave
go.
the property. No, you're leaving.
Well, no,
You're
look.
giving the opportunity, Kevin, to
Okay,
leave the property.
guys, come on, you're muscling. Come on. Yeah, you are.
That's pretty
Come on,
bullish.
guys. No, guys, I got it. Does anybody want to serve these papers for me? I'm being forced out. All right, you'll serve these? Okay, so what we have here, folks, is
Unlawful acts by the
police. I love this. You guys know what I'm doing. You guys know what I'm doing. And all I want is for 3 minutes to let me do my job. Please, sir? Sir. Exactly. Well, this way we're constantly. Guys. Come on, guys. Come on. All I want to do is I want to serve Janet McDougall and the entire board. This letter.
Sharia law. I see the legal documents that
So, this is crazy. Gentlemen,
Why is he being removed?
this unfortunately was an example. Now, first off, I do not blame the Peel Regional Police for this. I understand they have been given instructions. There's a lawyer, Mr. Robert Keel. I have read his letter on my YouTube channel this evening. Mr. Robert Keel was not even brave enough to take my phone call today. If you see the video on YouTube, you'll see him just hang up on me, not take the call. So I called a few of his staff, and they won't take my calls either. The fact that remains that Janet McDougall is being told by me in this letter. Who wants to hear me read the letter, by the way?
I do.
Yeah. All right. So what I'm telling her here is that she did call me a racist in the last meeting without merit of any kind. There's nothing to back that claim at all. And for everybody who's a Kevin J. Johnston fan here, hands up. Who thinks I'm racist? Anybody?
No,
Nobody. Absolutely nobody. So, with Janet McDougall having done what she did, she caused a riot, which was completely unacceptable because everybody that was in that crowd yelling at her were trying to tell her that she was wrong for saying what she said. So, without prejudice to the entire board, to Janet McDougall, Carrie Andrews, Stan Cameron, Robert Crocker, Noka Dakrub, David Green, Sue Lawton, Brad McDonald, Kathy McDonald, Suzanne Nurse, Hakrit Singh, and Rick Williams of the Peel District School Board. Dear Janet McDougall and the Peel District School Board, you are all on notice. I understand, Janet and crew, that you are upset with the fact I am telling the truth about all of you and the way that you are ignoring the wishes of more than 90% of Peel Region's population. Too bad. You people have had the opportunity to behave like adults and Canadians and simply denied the radical Islamic community their requests I misspoke there. If you had denied the radical Islamic community their request to offer anti-Jewish and anti-Canadian hate speech in public schools, we would not be having these conversations. You have chosen to show that you are not adults, and out of fear, you are allowing hate speech in our public schools and turning a blind eye to the indoctrination of secular children.
And we can wait for them.
Thank you so much. And it wasn't the case where, like I was pushed. I just thought that because there was some things being said, I thought that I might have brought up.
We appreciate that.
Show some
You should take all their jobs.
He should be employing, not you people. We're not freaking terrorists like the Muslims. Tell them to get out here.
Tell the chair to show some leadership.
Shame on you. What do you mean? Simple, we are asking 7:30 to start. What do you mean? If you're not starting 7:30, just tell the group that you're not starting 7:30. Right? Simple as this. It's simple, 7:30 meeting is supposed to be start. If you're not
Ladies and
starting
gentlemen, the trustees, along with the director and the 2 associate directors, are still in what's called an in-committee meeting. That's a meeting that happens every time before a board meeting. And so they are finishing that. I apologize for the delay. I'm not sure why there's a delay. None of the people in this room know why. They're still debating something that's part of the agenda in the in-committee. And so I apologize for the delay, but they will be out shortly, and then they'll start the open session.
Thank you.
You should just not professional.
Just because no, they're still looking at the news. That's not professional. They're still looking at what happened in Britain.
Thank you. On behalf of the board, I apologize for our late start. I have regrets this evening from Trustee Andrews and Student Trustee Babalow. I have additions and changes to the agenda. 3.4 are the minutes of the regular meeting of the board of February the 28th. 6.1a is an addendum to our retirements announcements. I don't have any other changes. Except that Trustee DeCrube is streaming in and so is considered part of the meeting. Are there any other trustees have changes or additions to the agenda? Seeing none, Trustee Cameron, will you move the agenda? Seconded by Trustee B. McDonald. All those in favor? Carried. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest? Seeing none, then we'll move to minutes. 3.1 through 3.5. 3.1 are the instructional program committee minutes of February the 15th. 3.2 is the supplementary meeting of the board, February 21st. And 3.4 is the regular meeting of the board, February 28th. They're here for receipt and approval. Any comments? Trustee Nurse put them on the floor, seconded by Trustee K. McDonald. Comments? All those in favor? Carried. So are there any written questions, notices of motion, or petitions from trustees? Trustee Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, this afternoon I have a petition that was sent to me by over 600 signature. This is a petition from parents and community members that are requesting not to have any prior religious accommodation within the schools. And I will not read through all of it, but the significant part of it reads, we request immediate suspension of Friday prior for a student until review to be conducted by all included. Community of the P Regional Board, not one specific community. Board should also refrain from making procedure based on religion, leader suggestions, as they cannot be made accountable and responsible for education of students. We hope our voice are being heard and a response will be coming to us soon. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I'll hand this over to Ms. Mueller. This is a petition, as I said, and it's over 600 signature. Thank you.
Thank you, and we will respond to that at our next board meeting, which will be April something.
What? You're not responding to it now?
Trustee Singh.
What the hell are we doing here then?
I want to have a notice in motion.
You just said they're not going to talk about it.
So can I read it?
Yes, please.
Whereas Policy 48, Safe Schools does not provide a process for implementing the student dress code or school uniform for new schools. Therefore, be it resolved that